Welcome to our fifth AA podcast for the fall 2021 semester, where we will learn more information on how to navigate the accounting world one asset and liability at a time. My name is Shalom, and I'm here with my director, Emin, and Paulina, the executive of operations. Also joining us today is Nicole, who is the executive administrator of the Accounting Association. Today, we will be talking about some accounting scholarships that are available for undergraduate and graduate students. With that being said, I would like for the team to introduce themselves. I can start by going first. My name is Shalom. I'm currently a pre-accounting major. My graduation date is in spring 2023, and I'm currently the co-director of media. I joined AA last semester to network and make new friends.
Hi everyone, my name is Emin. I'm an information systems major and I'll be graduating in December 2022. I'm currently the co-director of media with Shalom, and I've previously been mentorship director when I joined AA in spring 2021 when I was looking to improve my networking skills and meet new friends. My hobbies include computer building and troubleshooting, physical fitness, and astronomy.
Hi everyone, my name is Paulina. My major is professional accountancy. My graduation date is December 2021. I'm currently the executive of operations for AA in the fall 2021 semester. I was the student development director in the previous spring semester, and my hobbies include traveling and spontaneous adventures. I joined Accounting Association in fall 2019 with the hopes of making new friends and networking out in the accounting world, which both I have accomplished thanks to AA.
Hello everyone, my name is Nicole Fregozo. I am an impact student, so I'm doing the master's in accounting. My graduation date is next summer, 2022. I've been involved with AA for some time now. Last semester I was the executive coordinator. This semester I am the executive administrator and I oversee student activities. My hobbies include, I would say, sketching and stargazing. I do love a good meteor shower.
Thank you for joining us today, Nicole. I think that today's podcast is something that we should all look into. Scholarships can help make school definitely a lot easier financially. We all know that CSUN has a financial aid and scholarship department that offers scholarships with off and on-campus scholarships available. Are there any specific scholarships available to accounting or IS students?
Yes, there are actually. If you go into the David Nazarian College of Business and Economics website, there's a link for scholarships and awards. From there, you can view all the scholarships and the awards available for students who are part of the Nazarian College, which include the accounting and IS majors. These are the general scholarships, but if you want some more specific ones, you can also find that there are scholarships per department. However, if you do go into the accounting and IS department website, it says that the annual scholarships for the year 2021-2022 are closed for now. You can also sign into the My Matador scholarships and look at a wider variety of them. There, just remember that they do require you to be full-time student. That means taking 12 units, one recommendation letter, and usually a statement. The statement involves you sharing your story and just expressing why you have that economic need and how this scholarship would impact you. Sometimes you have to write a thank you letter to the donors and they notify you when you are awarded that scholarship, so it's important to check your emails.
If the annual scholarships for the accounting department are closed, how will we know when to apply for scholarships for the next upcoming year?
Of course, that's a good question. Generally, scholarships open in the spring semester, so for students who want to apply for scholarships, they have to wait for the next semester. According to CSUN's accounting website, the accounting annual scholarships application for 2022-2023 will open in the following spring of 2022. However, the Noski family scholarship application for the year 2022, they will open in fall of 2021, so this fall. For scholarships on the My Matador scholarship site, the deadlines are as soon as March and the latest May of the prior semester, similar to the same deadline. So for example, it would be May 2022 in the spring for the fall of 22.
Good point, Nicole. I highly recommend students take note in their calendars to start preparing for scholarships. From past semesters, do you know what kinds of scholarships were previously available for students? I know that sometimes a lot of the scholarships are hidden.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say necessarily hidden, but they do, the CSUN website does require you to click around if you want to find anything, really. But in my experience, aside from the accounting and IS specific scholarships, you can find there are scholarships for students in leadership positions. So if you're a director or so on in a club, you would qualify for one of those. There's one for students who have worked in the food chain industry for first generation students. There are solely academic achievement ones. There's one, even if you're interested in insurance, for students who show loyalty to CSUN by completing their graduate studies here as well. There are a lot of opportunities out there. Sometimes you might want to check your emails carefully. You will often get emails from the business college or even the scholarship department. When there's no one that applies for these scholarships, the department sends out emails notifying the students to apply. Most of the time there is very little competition, so the probability of getting one, like gaining the award, is very high.
Thanks for the insight, Nicole.
Does anyone have some personal experience with applying for scholarships that they want to share?
Yeah, so the sharing experiences, I've applied for multiple semesters. I've applied for scholarships. There have been times where I applied for like 6 of them and I didn't get any of them. And it can make you feel a little discouraged, but note that maybe that semester, for one reason or another, you just didn't qualify. I would say don't give up. Try again the next semester. And I mean, I've done that myself. This past semester, I applied for like, I would say at least 8 or 11 scholarships, I'm not lying, and I only got one, but that one helps a lot. So, you know, I would say if you can, just apply to as many as possible. This semester when I applied, I didn't hear back from them until probably 3-4 days ago from today, and I was a little shocked, which is why I say it's very important to look at your emails, because I wasn't expecting it, but I applied by the deadline was May. So up until now, that's quite a few months between. I forgot about it. Not that I don't have that need anymore. I still have a need. I just didn't think that I was going to get any of the scholarships, but I did. And it's really exciting. They asked me to share a thank you letter, which I'm going to be working on this week. And they do give you the template and they review it for you. If you have any typos, they'll give it back to you and say, oh, can you just change this part, please, to make it a little bit more general? And then you just go ahead and do that. You submit it, and that's it. For some, you do have to attend a banquet. I'm not sure in the virtual environment if they're going to be doing those, seeing that we're going to be moving forward to a slightly more in-person environment. But sometimes they will ask you to attend like a little lunch or something so that you can say thank you to the donors in person. There have been some times where it's just the email, the letter, you just accept it, and that's it. So it really depends on the scholarship, and I highly encourage you and recommend that you just read the full description, because it may be that you qualify for one of the bullet points and the description says if you qualify for one of the 6. So just even qualifying to one makes you eligible to apply. So you may miss it otherwise if you don't like read the description. In my experience, it really does help having somebody else read the statement. When I initially started writing him, I did the best I could. And then after getting some feedback, they were like, no, you should probably reword this, you know, be a little bit more clear. That's where I learned that being more direct and specifics to what your need is and the impact that the scholarship's going to have for you, it really does help a lot. So the clearer and the cleaner the statement, the better.
Thank you so much for sharing, Nicole. That was really informative and super encouraging. I can also add my experience. I got an email to apply for a scholarship, so I did, and I was able to receive one after writing an essay about my experience. Remember, applying for scholarships also require a strong essay. Nicole, what would be some advice you have for writing a strong essay?
Well, I would personally recommend that you be as honest and vulnerable as you feel comfortable being. Be detailed when you describe your hardships, and as direct as saying, for example, this scholarship will help me keep a roof over my head during the semester, if that is the situation that you find yourself in. Sometimes there are questions that say, where do you see yourself in X amount of years? Again, detail is key here. Say where you see yourself and how you plan to get there. How do you plan to achieve that goal? If you leave it at, I see myself as a CPA for a big 4 company, and you just leave it at that versus reading someone's essay on how they plan to achieve their goal, you might be moved by the person who explains their plan, who tells you how they plan on getting to their goal. That means that they've thought about it, that it's genuine. So with that, also try to get the chronological order. That gives you a cleaner picture of what you're trying to say. And lastly, as always, get the draft ready before the deadline so you can have a chance to do some edits and maybe even get a second pair of eyes to look at it.
That's a great way to put it, Nicole. Is there a way that makes the applying process a little bit easier?
Yes, there is. Well, much like us accountants, we work with prior years, right? So you can do the same with prior application statements. For the most part, statements are relatively the same, so it's good to keep them as reference for the next one. You will have to probably make a few tweaks to adapt it to the specific statement that the scholarship's asking you for, but it helps to have, the skeleton of what you're trying to say and just your story. And then be aware of deadlines. I cannot emphasize this enough. Don't leave it to the last minute, because the added pressure of meeting the deadline can also stress you out.
Definitely agreed.
Now to finish off, Nicole, what would be some advice you have for getting a strong letter of recommendation? I know that this can be slightly more difficult for students since we spent the past year online without much face-to-face interaction with faculty.
Of course, Paulina. This virtual environment has definitely made it more difficult to connect with professors, or anyone really. I would say if you can attend office hours, do that, or talk to the professors. Oftentimes, they appreciate even getting 1 or 2 people just stopping by and saying hello, doing a quick chat. And I have heard multiple professors say this to me. I'm not lying. It's a true story. So don't be intimidated to talk to them. Just, go out of your way to make that connection if possible. So don't be intimidated to just talk to them. When you let them see you as a person, not just another student in the classroom, they're more inclined to write you a strong letter. On the other hand, maybe you're busy and you don't have time to meet with them. Shoot them an email. I've done that before. Explain your situation, what you're going through, like if it's a tough time for you financially, and let them know that you want to apply for the scholarship. Just ask for one. Be straightforward. It helps a lot if you're doing well in their classroom. In addition, you will not be able to see your recommender's letter unless you ask them to share it beforehand, but that can be a little awkward at times. So just know that. And when you apply for the My Matador scholarships and add for the reference name and the email, the individuals receive a link where they can sign up and input their letters into their account. Keep in mind that you can use one person's recommendation letter for multiple scholarships. So if you're applying for, let's say, 6 of them, and they all ask you for 2 recommendation letters, if you get 2 recommendation letters from 2 individual people, you can apply them to all 6, and that won't affect you negatively. Also, note that doesn't have to be necessarily from a professor. So if you have like a community leader where you've done volunteer work and you think that they know you well and they can write you a strong recommendation letter, I would encourage you to ask them to do it versus a professor that you may not, have a connection with. And then also for like previous employers, if you have that type of relationship, you can also ask them to submit one for you, just so that you know that your options are you do have options. It's not strictly professors.
Thank you, Nicole. Getting a strong letter of recommendation is important, but it can also be difficult, especially during quarantine. For those who want to avoid letters of recommendation, I highly suggest looking carefully over scholarship descriptions to match your preferences. There may be some scholarships that do not require a letter of recommendation.
Now that the podcast is almost ending, I also want to add on, when you do receive the scholarship or award, you should always write a thank you letter to the sponsors, and the scholarship department will send you an email describing how. In addition, award money is not seen until it pays off student debts first, and then the remaining money goes to the student, either through check or direct deposit depending on how they listed their preferred choice on the CSUN portal in the Financial Matters section. I want to thank you again, Nicole, for joining us today and giving more insight on the many scholarships that the CSUN department offers for its accounting and IA students.
Thank you for having me. I hope this encourages our listeners to apply for scholarships. You can't tap into the resources you don't know are there, so I really do hope this helps. Everyone, good luck on your scholarship journey.
Please feel free to contact us with any questions at media@aacssun.org, or you can leave a comment down below. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram to hear more about upcoming events. We hope you enjoyed today's podcast, and thank you so much for listening to us today.